Alright guys, let's take another look here. Multiplying fractions times a whole number. Just a reminder, your fraction times your whole number, you can think of it a couple different ways. One is repeated addition, and that's doing 1/4 3 times, because multiplication is just repeated addition. So that's a simple way to look at it. Remember, when adding fractions, that denominator stays the same, and you simply add up that numerator. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. One way to look at it. A quicker way to solve that is just taking your whole number times your numerator and keeping that denominator the same. Either way, you would get the same answer. So a little bit quicker way, another way to think about it with repeated addition. Let's take a look at what you're practicing today. All right, Dave got a number sentence for you, and your job is just to complete it. So the answer is 2/8. How many 1/8? How many times do you have 1/8 to get to 2/8? Well, you need 2 of them. How about this? To get 3/4, how many 1/4 do you need? How many times would you need to do it? Well, you could do 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4, and that will give you the 3/4. How many times is that? 1, 2, 3. How many 1/6 to get 4/6? 4 times 1/6 would make that 4/6. And if you have 3 whole, what fraction are you multiplying by to get 3/6? Well, we know if we do it that shortcut, that parent's way, we do whole number times numerator, and then we keep that denominator the same. So it should be a 6. Alright, what if you have 8/4? How many whole times did you do 1/4 to get that 8/4? Well, you would have to do 1/4 quite a few times to make it up to 8/4. In fact, you would need to do it so many times I'm running out of room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To make that 8/4, you'd need to make 1/4 8 times. Let's take a look at IXL S4. Same idea, you're multiplying a whole number times a fraction, but we're looking for an answer that's less than 1 whole, an answer that is exactly 1 whole, and an answer that's bigger than 1 whole. Let's solve this first one, this 3 times 1/4. Well, if I'm going to do 3 times 1/4, I'm going to do that shortcut, that parent's way, if you will. Whole number times numerator. It's 3, and keep that denominator the same. That's 3/4. That is less than 1 whole, because I know 4/4 is 1 whole. So this one should go here. Let's do 1/3 times 3 whole. Now this time I'm going to do repeated addition. I'm going to do 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, and when I add all those together, I get 3/3, which is equivalent to 1 whole. So this one goes right here. And let's solve that last one. 1/3 times 5. I'm going to do that shortcut on this one, whole number times the numerator, and leave that denominator the same. Ooh, 5/3 is bigger than 1 whole because it's an improper fraction, so it's more than 1 whole. So this time, this is how they sort it out. And you just have to grab them and drag them to the spot that they go. Let's take a look at a couple more. Here's 3 times 1/4. I know that's 3/4, and that's less than 1 whole. 2 times 1/3 is 2/3, and that's less than 1 whole. And 2 times 1/4 is 2/4. And this time, they're all less than 1 whole. Let's take a look here. We've got 6 times 1/4. And when I do that algorithm, that shortcut, it's 6/4. And 6/4 is greater than 1 whole. We've seen this 3 times 1/4. That's less than 1 whole. 2 times 1/3 is 2/3. And 4 times 1/2 is 4/2, which is greater than 1 whole. So this time you're solving these individual questions and then sorting them. Smaller than 1 whole, exactly 1 whole, and greater than 1 whole. And hopefully you see a pattern here on which one is equal to 1 whole. Hopefully it pops out to you here. I'm going to point this out. Check that one out. 4 times 1/4. When I take my whole number times my numerator, I get 4 as my numerator, and my denominator is 4, and that equals 1 whole. Hopefully you notice when you have a whole number and it matches the denominator of that fraction that you're going to get 1 whole. This equals exactly 1 whole. The rest of them we're going to have to solve to figure it out. And I know 1/4 3 times is 3/4. And I know 3/4 is less than 1 whole. I know 1/4 one time is a small fraction. It's just 1/4. And I know 1/4 5 times is 5/4. So that one's going to go clear over there. The sorting, you got to think it through a little bit, but you're going to start to see some patterns like which ones equal exactly 1 whole. Once you see those patterns, the sort is not going to be too difficult for you. Good luck, guys.